Hello and welcome to episode 87 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm Keith Hernandez, and joining me tonight, as always, the one, the only, Mr. Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal with popcorn? Am I right?
I'm Keith Hernandez.
Yes, this is a special day. First of all, it's May 15th when we're recording, which is the 20th anniversary of the Seinfeld finale.
As well
as the release of Keith Hernandez's new book.
His memoir entitled, I'm Keith Hernandez.
Is that really what it's called?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
He's the best.
Yeah, and Caitlin, working at a Barnes & Noble, she got the first dibs in there, so she got one of the signature editions, so that's pretty cool. And I was thinking, like, is it just, like a signature sort of stamped on there? But no, it's his signature in there, so that's pretty cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, I was gonna... Well, my aunt dated him, but then she broke up with him because he smoked. She didn't like that. He,
that 86 Mets team, they did a lot more than just smoke. They did some things.
Well, they smoked the baseballs out of the...
They sure did. I mean, it's funny because they have like a whole documentary on the 86 Mets, which are sort of like world-renowned. Not world-renowned. I mean, I guess, obviously in baseball lore, they're pretty, memorable team because they were sort of the up-and-coming Mets. They were sort of like the jerks of the league. But like they were just so good that it didn't matter. But the thing is, they'd all party so hard after the game, right? And they'd be out all hours of the night partying, doing whatever things of the night. And then they would, come to the ballpark all hungover, and then they take greenies, is what they called them, which are just like amphetamines, So they were just playing the games like all hopped up on speed, essentially. So it's like it was
all hopped up on goofathol.
A goofathol, indeed, but it made you good at baseball. And it's funny, though, because, it's not funny. There's like a 30 for 30 as well about two guys, Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry. And the one guy... Oh. Yeah, the one guy during the parade, that Dwight Gooden, when during the parade was going, he was in, like, a crack house, like, doing drugs, Oh. And he was like, oh, man, like, there you see all your buddies on the TV at the parade, and you're just, like, sitting there hanging out, doing drugs and stuff.
That's so pathetic.
Yeah, you feel bad for him. It's like obviously he had a pretty serious problem. But yeah, but eventually
we used to start these shows on happy notes.
Yeah, well, on a positive note, the Mets won the World Series in '86.
Funny. Well, it's not really funny as
it's quite depressing, really.
Well, Casey, I know that you're not Keith Hernandez. I know you wish you were in every fiber of your being, but you are.
You've seen his mustache? Of course I wish I was Keith Hernandez.
Oh, yeah. He's a ruggedly handsome man. And
he's in the broadcast booth for the Mets, and, just amazing. And he's got he's got a cat named Haji, and he's now a social phenomenon among Mets fans.
That's awesome.
Like he's got like an outdoor cage on his backyard so Haji can come outside but still be safe.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That is great.
Yeah, we're big Keith fans, but yeah, that's enough about baseball. How you doing?
Well, I've probably mentioned this before, but it's getting more and more relevant as the summer heat comes. But I'm telling you, get a bidet. It's phenomenal.
One day I might get a bidet. I'd like to try one.
There's nothing more refreshing than a cold bidet.
They're amazing. Cold squirt?
It's like it's like when you go to the bathroom. It's like taking a shower. It's like that feeling of like that clean feeling of like taking a shower.
I have no doubt that it's probably amazing.
It's fantastic. You're gonna have to try it when you come over.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No,
I'll make you try it, even if I have to pull the lever myself.
Like whoa. I need help, Perry.
I'll come in there.
Jill's like, I need to get out of here.
Jill's like, I knew this was going to get really weird quick. But yeah, it's really nice, and so that's my happy thing. We're gonna start the show off with this week.
Well, I was actually going to say the reason I brought up the depressing part was to sort of cancel out the overall happiness and good feeling of this next game we're going to talk about. But I think you actually have a quick bite before we even get into that, right?
That's right. It's time for some quick bites. Quick bites. No, the game that I have been playing still and will keep playing until I 100% it is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Switch, or what I like to call Funky Freeze.
Oh, Funky Fresh Freeze!
Even though I haven't played the Funky yet, because I'm waiting for that glorious when I 100% it.
You're lying. You need Funky's abilities,
Nope.
Otherwise you can't even beat the first level.
I do need his abilities, but I haven't played with him yet. But I'm really enjoying it. This is gonna sound kind of like down on the game, but I really don't think it's like so much better than Donkey Kong Country Returns. And I said that before, but I mean it again. Like it's totally not like super revolutionary from the Returns formula. Like it's so similar. Like the music.
But I mean, if you think about even the original. It was different because they changed up the Kongs, of course. And,
True.
But, like, I mean, the gameplay, more or less, like, it got better and more well-refined. Right. But, yeah, I don't think there was ever really too crazy big of a leap between, iterations.
That is a really good point. I never even thought about that. And I don't. That's what I mean. Is like, and I don't take that in any bad way possible. It's like it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's the thing. I think they found that sweet spot. Now it's just about delivering more fun levels to play.
All right. Well, playing through it now, it's like it's really fun, really cool. But I'm thinking about like I almost want a remaster of the first one, like an HD version, because
of Returns. You mean, or of the original?
I'd love it of Returns. Because I just played through that like a year ago. I remember I played through it like on the podcast, like 100%ed it like a year ago on 3DS or something, or it had to have been before that. But anyway, I feel like Returns doesn't get enough credit. I don't know. I feel like people think that Tropical Freeze is like this gigantic leap over Returns, and I just don't think so. And that's all. But I don't mean to sound like down on Tropical Freeze. I just mean Returns is so good. So I really wish they would have released.
I need to go back and play Returns, because I did not play that when it came out, because I think at that point I wasn't.
Yeah, get it on 3DS.
Well, that's where I did play through it on the 3DS, and I remember having fun with it and having a good time. But I also feel like it was one of those games like I picked up. And I was like, I just want to try and blast through this because of something else. So I feel like I almost rushed through it,
Oh, yeah.
So I really should return to it and give it a good proper play.
Yeah. The exploring is so good, and it's such a good pace for the game. It's kind of like Yoshi, but I love the exploring so much more in Donkey Kong than Yoshi just gets really tedious with its collectathon stuff, whereas I think that Donkey Kong is like... See, like with Yoshi, like you gotta check every cloud, and there's
oh yeah,
random,
it's
like
frustrating.
there's invisible clouds, so you just have to touch everywhere or throw. It's like you literally have to touch every part of the screen in Yoshi to do 100% clean.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not very
tedious.
fun.
It's tedious.
Yeah, but with Donkey Kong Country, you can see as you're going. Oh, that there's an area down there. Oh, there's this banana. I need to collect it, and then another banana pops up. I collect that, and then it keeps going, and then you unlock the puzzle piece. I mean, it's just everything makes sense. So it's way better. I like Donkey Kong a lot more than Yoshi. I love Yoshi, but completionist wise, Donkey Kong is a lot.
Yeah, it's almost not even worth it to go for the 100%. Like for me when I'm playing those games, and honestly, even with Donkey Kong, I always go for the Kong letters. Because to me that's sort of like the. Like, you need to get the Kong letters at least, And then, I try and get as many puzzle pieces and as many hidden barrels and stuff as possible, but I'm not killing myself searching every little, what I mean? Like, I missed one, I need to go back and beat it, I've sort of gotten past that.
Well, I tell you, the more you do it, the more instincts you get, and it's not as bad as you think. Most of the time, I get everything on my first run.
Oh, well, pardon me.
No.
No, I know, I'm
that's
kidding.
not-
Well, if
No,
you
I
don't
just-
suck, it's actually not that hard.
Well, if you don't suck like you, I just mean it's actually that level of exploring that I really like because it's not ridiculous and it's doable and it's fun to play through levels. I don't know. I totally get what you're saying, but for some reason with Donkey Kong, it really works with me and I love it. So
It's probably because
anyway,
Donkey Kong's the best.
yeah, he's the best, and David Lloyd sucks.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding,
David
I
Lloyd
felt
is
bad.
the anti-Donkey Kong, so
I
to
felt
me...
bad before I said that, David.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Casey doesn't. No regrets.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to make sure that before we got on the first segment, we gotta throw David under the bus.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a dish.
our goal is to get every segment. See if we can
Yep.
dig in there. Dig
Yeah,
that hole
absolutely.
deeper.
So, if anyone doesn't know, it's because he said that he doesn't like Donkey Kong. So that's I mean, now everyone's like, oh,
Yeah, everyone's grabbing their pitchfork.
yeah, exactly. Up to Canada.
We're going to the pub.
Grab your coats. Okay. Well, let's move into what we've been up to, what we've been playing. And I believe you've been playing a game for review, and I've been playing it as well.
Yes, yeah, you've been freeloading and just enjoying your playthrough. And me, I've been working hard. No, I've been playing, and as you said, we both been playing Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles.
Is meant to change until dawn.
Right, this game.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, this game we first actually saw, and Perry got to play a little bit at PAX East, and
Yeah.
the first thing that jumps off to you is just how beautiful the game looks.
Oh
It
my
definitely
goodness.
has like a... It feels like it's going for that Zelda vibe, you know, where big, open, lush, very vibrant environment, everything's sort of that nice color, you know, and even to the pretty much the first little cutscene you experience once you're... So essentially what happens is your ship wrecks and you find yourself on this island, and you sort of come through this cave, and you have a very... It's very similar feel to that in the beginning of Breath of the Wild, you know? Like, that's definitely where they got their inspiration, you know? You sort of pans out and you see, like, the big open landscape, and you're on sort of top of the bluff, and you're like, wow, this game looks really wonderful, you know?
Oh my goodness! Like, playing through this game, I had like that feeling of wonder, like Breath of the Wild, you know, kind of, but like the feeling of like, oh my goodness, like I am in this. I'm like, the atmosphere was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Like just from the get go, like, whoa, like when you go into the island, and then you're walking around, and it's just like, and you see all these different places, and it's like, this is huge, and yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, to me, well, I'll touch on my connections to Breath of the Wild in a second, but, so essentially you get on this island, and you end up finding out that there's this thing called Merc, right? Merc, I believe it's called.
Merc, yep.
And it's just like a purple haze that sort of is polluting the environment, and this is negatively affecting the inhabitants of the island. Yeah, the Twilight.
Twilight stuff.
So essentially, you want to clear that, and to do so, you need these spirits, or sprites, I should say. And you find them, they're little creatures, and, you know, you find one right off the bat, and, like, it shows you, oh, look, he can clear some Merc, and it opens up an area. And then as you go through the game, you know, it requires more of these little creatures to join your team, so you need to find them out in the world. But the game essentially is just one big area to explore. There is no combat. You know, you won't be fighting any enemies. It's literally just you adventuring and exploring this world. And it is a pretty big world. There are 8 different regions within it. And it is open world, but like there are some areas that are sort of locked behind the Merc, so you need, you know, a certain amount of the sprites to get past that. So that's how they sort of gate some things. But
Yeah.
usually, like, it's a lot of them, it's like, oh, you cleared that, and there's some chests back there with different items and stuff. But essentially, you're pretty much free reign to explore the areas. But when you go into each zone, there's like a city, right? Like a main city, and then there's some like little hubs with other people, like campfires or little areas where people congregate, and you could sort of get quests from them as well. But in each of the towns are guilds, which you talk to them, and they're like, "Hey, you want to join the guild?" And each guild is there's like a tailoring guild, a construction guild, and there's a cooking guild. And when you accept this quest, you need to usually. It's just like, hey, you need to have, say you're the cooking one, you need 2 eggs, some flour, and this. Bring it back to me, and I'll show you how to cook something.
Make a pancake.
Yeah. So you go, you get that, and then you come back, you make it, and it's like, hey, you're in the guild. Congrats. And then you unlock some new patterns for crafting. And then eventually you can make enough of any item within that guild's, sort of repertoire, and it'll upgrade, and then eventually you can get to be a master of that guild, and then you'll unlock even more patterns and stuff to be able to build. Now, when you're going through each area, like I said, you're building and crafting, and you can use these items you craft for different areas in the game. You unlock farms, and then you can actually like build little stables and bring wild animals to your farm, and then like they could produce milk and eggs and stuff for you. You can then also make like pillars and bridges and stuff out in the world where you'll run into an area that you wouldn't be able to get this gap, but it's like, hey, this is actually like the perfect place to build a suspension bridge, like get these materials, and then you go get those materials, and then it opens up another area.
Yeah, and then I love that. I did that at the beginning, and then there's a treasure chest on the hill.
Yeah, and it's just awesome to see. Then all of a sudden, for the rest of the game, now you have a bridge there, and it's just sort of building the world back up. And what's cool is that each zone sort of has a rating, a happiness rating. So, obviously you want to boost that up as much as you can, and you do that by clearing the murk, building up your farm. You can actually plant trees on certain areas, like there's little plots around where you can plant trees, and doing that will boost the happiness. And essentially, you're trying to restore peace to the world, little by little. And what's amazing about this game is just, like, it has that Breath of the Wild feel in the sense that, okay, I've got this quest, it requires me to go here. I'm gonna go there. And then all of a sudden, you're like, well, wait, hold on, there's some murk over there, let me go clear that. Oh, well, alright, actually, let me see what that sort of unlocked. Oh, then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you've got like 8 more quests, and I'm on the opposite side of the map, and I'm like, man,
right.
Like, what happened? I was trying to do this, and it just, you sort of get lost in it,
It's because, like, you're going, and then, like, oh, there's a boulder. I'm going to go break that, because it's so satisfying to pick up all the little rocks that you get.
Oh, there's a
and
flower
then,
over there.
Look, there's a bush over there. I'm going to cut it with a sickle, and then that explodes into all different,
that's so satisfying.
glowing, and it's like, oh my goodness, oh, and who's that guy over there? And you walk up to him, and he's like, hey, I need 3 planks of wood.
I need the wood.
Okay. And so then you go get it, and then, it's exactly. So,
yeah.
But it's just, it's so beautiful, like, the whole time. And it's just, it really is so smooth. Like, the whole thing is just, like, kind of like, I want to say it almost has a lack of dynamics because it's just always, like, you're always in motion and moving. And I think, and of course, I think you haven't mentioned yet, but there is no combat.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that.
Okay.
You dirty dog.
Well, I didn't know if you went, but you didn't go into it.
No.
I mean, like, I'm not judging a game based off, like, what it isn't, but this really would have been so much better if it had combat in it. Like, it's just kind of like another dynamic, like, you can't die in this game. So there's not really any stress that happens.
Yeah.
And that's important. That's important in a game. I'm sorry, but it's important to have that feeling. Otherwise, it's like, well, what am I doing this for? What is the goal, and what is the goal of Yonder?
To happiness, restore peace to the land, and then I don't want to spoil what happens at the ending, and I'll admit that it's a little anticlimactic. It's not like anything groundbreaking, the end, but like they give you a little something And then
Yeah.
they say, hey, but like that's not it. Like there's still stuff to do in the world. So once you sort of beat that main storyline, there's still more quests that open up, and there's still stuff to do, quote unquote post game. But yeah, I would say as far as the combat goes, that didn't bother me too much. I wish there was a little more diversity in the quests, because more often than not, they just sort of are like, hey, I need these items, go get them for me, and it's a lot of like just running.
Yeah, and that's exactly like that would have been one of the main, right? I mean, you'd have combat quests then. I mean, you'd have, I just feel like it's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but I think I was gonna say, I think they could have like still done no combat, but added some other elements.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they could have had platforming challenges. They could have had
because
you can jump. I'm just saying, like, yeah, they could have done so many different other things. I'm not, fishing challenges and stuff like that, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the fishing's actually really fun in this game. I didn't do a ton of it, but obviously, like Animal Crossing, it's like, oh, you wait till they bite, and then you just press A, or sometimes, it's like tap a button. But essentially, there's like an arrow behind the fish, and as it moves around, you need to keep pointing at the fish, so it jolts around.
I did that at PAX. I haven't actually got the fishing pole in this game yet, even though I think it's like right there at the very beginning. No, I just got drafted off into other things,
Oh no, I believe it.
It's like, oh, I really want to get that farm, which I really love that concept of farming. You actually, I get this land, and then like you can actually like put, you can design how it's gonna look, and that's kind of stuff is great. I have a feeling it doesn't go into like. It's kind of like light on everything, where it doesn't go into crazy amounts of depth. Like, sure, like you can make, like you get an animal, and then like this buffalo type cow thing, and he can make milk for you, and then you can use that to barter.
Yeah,
for other stuff,
and I think you could also use it in like certain cooking, crafting items.
Right. But it's like, do you upgrade your character?
No, not really. I mean, I guess it might be considered upgrading when you get a master of a certain guild and you unlock more patterns, but like, yeah, it's not like you level up or anything.
Yeah.
You can change your outfit and your hair color and hairdo and all that stuff.
Right.
And I guess as far as a few other things I wanted to definitely touch on before we move on here. Yeah, there are some frame rate issues. Most notably when it hits some auto save spots, it stutters pretty hard. Just momentarily. It's not like, game breaking or so annoying, but it is there. I've noticed, like, after I'm in sleep mode, I'll open it up, and then I feel like I always hit a save zone, and that's when it really stutters, and then it sort of evens out. And then I guess there were some times in other areas, like dense areas, where it wasn't like horrible, but you could tell it was just not as smooth as you might like, but again, these were sort of minor, and what's nice is due to the nature of the game, how there's no combat and there's really no threat at all, you can't, even if it does stutter on the autosave, it's not like it's going to be like, oh, well, now I got hit because the game sort of messed up, which is nice. What's interesting is the economy within the game. So when you are in a guild, let's say you're at the tailoring guild, right? And if you're trying to sell them like tailored goods or materials used for that, they don't pay a lot of money, obviously, because that's sort of something they have, And then you could go to different areas, and it's like all of a sudden it's more expensive over there, and like they'll pay more for that. So it's cool to play with the different towns, like.
Right.
There is like an economy there in that sense. But the annoying thing is, there's no buying or selling. It's all trading and bartering, as you say.
It was confusing at the beginning. I was like, what's going on here? But then I remember Nick, I think his name was, that we talked to at PAX when he was talking about this bartering system. And I was like, oh, okay. So like the idea of, okay, everything has a value in a dollar, like in a
a numeral form.
In a numeral form, like this thing, this plank is worth 10, right? And if I want to buy that, then I need to trade them something that's worth at least 10. And so you could trade them something that's worth 10,000.
Yeah.
And take it.
See,
right?
but you will never be able to, or at least not in any experience I saw. So I'm pretty sure it's not.
Well, Nick said, yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it the other way.
Yeah,
around.
like I mean, obviously not to that extent, but not even like, there's no leeway where it's like, oh, like I'm like 2 below him, and it's like
this ain't no Tabitha.
yeah, and they're like, no,
you pay this much.
so
No, that's not enough.
spot on. But yeah,
you.
so that's like I said, that idea almost feels better on paper than in practice, because essentially it's just, oh, I need to match that number. Let me just throw a bunch of crap
Yeah.
on there,
I love that idea. I really do, because it takes a little bit of the tedium out, a little bit, but then I feel like it adds a little bit too.
Yeah. No, and
You know
it's a
what I
little
mean?
different for sure. And then I guess the last thing I do want to touch on is just, I mean, we touched a little bit on a lot on the art style and how it's really, gorgeous and it looks
The
really
lighting,
great.
Wow.
Oh, the light, yeah. Some of like the really
yeah.
like crystals and objects you see in the world that sort of glow are really like, wow.
Well, they make such good use of it because your character always carries a lantern,
Yeah, yeah.
So that lantern is always showing off the really nice lighting effects.
But what's also, I think, really awesome is the audio design. The music is nice, but I'm talking like at night all of a sudden I'm in the woods and like, all right, there's no real music playing at this part, cause but I'm hearing the animals and then all of a sudden the rain comes in, you start hearing the rain, but oh, it's a thunderstorm, and it's like, then all of a sudden again, now the lighting's coming with the lightning and I don't know, just to me,
Yeah.
that all came together and it was
Dude,
like,
yeah, I got like the goosebumps playing the game. I mean, it's a very atmosphere and the conditions and the lighting, everything. Yeah, you're right. It's amazing. The sound design,
yeah,
excellent.
It brings it all together, and like I said, I was just the one night, the first time a thunderstorm rolled in, and I was just like, man, they nailed it. They nailed the audio design
Yeah.
in this game. But yeah, Yonder, I really liked it a lot. It's definitely not a game for everyone. Like, honestly, it didn't seem like it'd be a game for me. Like, open world, no combat, go out there and do quests and things, you know what I mean? Which is pretty much, like, not my cup of tea at all. But,
I mean, it's basically, I feel like this, I mean, it's a 3D Zelda mixed in with Dragon Quest Builders mixed in with Animal Crossing. Light versions of all those, I think, is the best way to put it. But yeah, with all those strengths.
yeah.
But that also brings in the minuses too. I do want to mention that I've played probably like 3 hours. I got like a couple days ago. I played 3 hours of the game, and I have not even noticed the frame rate. Like that didn't come to my mind. So, like, however minute it might be for you, like it doesn't seem to be a huge problem.
Yeah.
To me, so that's good.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not like a frame snob, you know what I mean? And it really doesn't bother me, but I know some people...
This is clocking in at 57.
Yeah. This is not right.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that does matter, so I try and be cognizant of it. And like I said, during the gameplay, like, there are a few times where it might not be as... But that, to me, was not really that bad. It's just a little on the autosaves, but... Like I said, it's here and there on occasion, and it's, like I said, there's no way it's going to negatively affect your gameplay or progress of the actual in-game, like, it's not going to be like, oh, now you have to go back and do something because the game stuttered and I died, so.
Right.
But yeah, no, definitely not a game for everyone, but I do have a video review up on NWR TV, and obviously the written word over there on NWR.com. So if you are interested, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I heard Cody did the voiceover for you.
Yes, he's helped me out. He's a good man.
Yes. Well, Casey, I have been playing some of the new hotness. Did you know that?
I don't know. Did I? It's because you stole it from me, Jimmy.
How did I steal it from you?
Here's this
What did you
used
say?
Wii game I got. You can play that. Let me get this new one.
You could have taken it. You said if you wanted to take it. Not my fault that you're all busy with 10 reviews and RPGs.
Well, let me ask you: Did you already mail out Corey in the house so you can get the next great new code?
I've given you Corey in the house. So yes. I
No.
gave it to you for Christmas last year, Jim.
I threw it right away.
Yeah, I sent it back.
Yeah. I
Return to
burnt it.
sender. Yeah. Anyway, I've been playing a little game called Runner 3.
Oh, baby, I am looking forward to hearing about this one.
Yeah, I bet you were, because I was really looking forward to this game. And yeah, so I got it last night. So I haven't played too much. I've played like probably a good 3 hours again.
That's pretty good for just getting it last night, though.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say
So
that I have a
yeah.
feeling I know how this is gonna go. I like
Yeah.
this game a lot.
So here, okay. Runner 3 is it's the third entry in the spin-off of the Bit Trip series, Bit Trip Runner. This is an auto-scrolling, rhythm-based runner where you're this guy, Commander Video, or many other differents you can pick from, including Charles Martinet. You can be Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, who is also the narrator for the game. It's just the best thing in the whole world. It really is. We gotta try to get Charles Martinet on the podcast. Wouldn't that be the best thing ever?
I mean, that would be amazing. Absolutely no doubt about
Dude,
it.
we could have Waluigi on the podcast.
Wah!
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
We'd have to
Runner
probably
3.
close down. That'd be the last episode. We got
I
Charles
know.
Martinet. That's it. Hang him
Yep,
up.
we got the king. Yeah. Next up, Reggie.
Oh, baby.
Anyway. Runner 3. So, like I said before, rhythm-based jump. Everyone should know what this is. It's a huge game. I mean, now, funny thing is, I've been playing this. This game is freaking hard. Don't let anyone I remember we interviewed them, and they've made some really cool upgrades and changes to this one. Kind of two big ones. One is you have a slam, which means you can jump, and then when you hit down, you'll slam towards the ground. And that means you can hit the ground whenever you want. That's a huge upgrade, because before it's like you made that jump and then you were tied into that jump. There's actually 3 different little upgrades they made. Sorry, not 2. There's 3. One of them is if you hold the jump, he'll glide a little, kind of like a Tanuki Mario, kind of like to the extent, or more like Acorn, like flying squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Mario.
Okay. Yeah, a little. Mm-hmm.
Just like a little, but it's perfect for, So for there's lots of gold that you have to glide to collect and stuff like that, and just jumps in general. And then the other thing is the double jump that you get at the end of the first world, and it's just like whoa,
Game changer, I bet.
oh yeah. So I was going through the super hard levels trying to. This is the thing is there's 100 gold in each level, and you will I want to collect them all,
Oh, baby, you're gonna be playing this
And
game
it's
for
just-
8 years.
Well, I just kept going through, and it's so hard, dude, because there's one checkpoint in the middle of the level. The levels are I don't know, 2-3 minutes, maybe more. I bet they're about 3 minutes each. And so it's you got to play a minute and a half just to get to a checkpoint, and then and it's one hit kill, you're done. There's no do-overs. One hit, you're done. So it gets really hard if you're trying to get stuff, because you can get into a funk, and not like Funky Kong, a real funk where you're really mad. And it's I don't know if I want to keep doing this. It's that kind of a thing. But then you finally get it done, and it's so satisfying. And the music is so good, just like you'd expect. I was playing through trying to get all the gold in the beginning, and I was like, wait, I haven't unlocked the double jump yet. I'll just come back when I have the double jump. That makes so much more sense. So The changes from 2 to 3. So one of the big things is they do a lot with the camera. Your aspect of where it is to Commander Video will change a lot. Sometimes you'll be even behind him. And then on top of that, like vehicles, like sometimes like you'll jump into a rail car and it's like, whoa, now I'm on a rail car and and like you're dodging and jumping, jump into a plane. Now I'm in a really cool plane. You're going up in the plane and you have complete control over the plane. So it's like analog control and you're going up and down collecting stuff.
That's awesome.
It's great. Yeah, it's a really fun change because it completely changes the gameplay. Suddenly, so what this game, and it's funny that I'm playing these two games at the same time, it's so much like Donkey Kong Country. Like, it reminds me so much of that game. It's hard to explain just because of the way that they change things up, the way that Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, the way that like they too also use like the different camera movements to like when you're being rocketed in the barrels and stuff like that. Very similar to that. Well, and that's a good thing.
I was actually going to ask, you said that sort of a perspective shift sometimes to like behind you. Is that while you're still playing? Or is it sort of like a little cutscene to be like, oh, and now you're okay?
No, this is why you're still playing.
So is that disorienting at all? Because I remember...
Yes, a little bit, but they changed the difficulty to match.
Okay, because I know even like Urban Trial Playgrounds, which I reviewed and played a little while ago, they did some of that, it was very left to right, and then they would shift behind you sometimes. And like,
that's cool.
And I liked it. But, like, that game is not necessarily a runner where it's like you're trying to be like, oh, I need to get, grab things and avoid things, Right. So I was wondering,
They'd probably do wonders for that game if it was.
Yeah, if it was Runner 3.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the aspects will change. I did find out, so I got to the slight spoilers, I guess, everyone.
Bye, I'm out of here. Bye.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm on
really
fishing.
Anything. Well, it's just the first boss. The gameplay is exactly like Space Dave.
Oh, really?
Exactly. Yeah.
That good old Dave.
It's awesome. It's great. And I was like, man, I wish I had Dave because you can unlock Dave to unlock. I haven't got him yet. But yeah, there's lots of customization. You can customize your character, customize, the scarf, whatever thing that goes behind you. I think they call it
the
scarf in the game. Yeah, I think that's what they call it at the end. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but you know how you unlock the different modes as you're going through the level, and then you finally unlock that awesome mode where it's like everything sounds way cool and stuff like that, and you have that rainbow coming behind you.
I won't lie, I did not play a lot of Runner 2. I bought it and I played, but I've never beaten it.
What about the first Runner?
I've never played the first Runner.
Oh my
So that's why, for me, Runner 3, I'm really excited because it'll be my first true Runner experience.
Well, you can't... No, I forbid you to play Runner 3 without playing Runner the first one.
Well, like I said...
You sick...
Well,
you're a sick man.
What did the first one come out for? What was it?
WiiWare.
Oh, well, that's why. It's because
it came out on 3DS, too.
I didn't play WiiWare, dang it, and I refuse to play it on the 3DS.
Why do you refuse?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I played Runner 2 on Wii U, and I liked it. If I remember correctly, there's like a bajillion levels, aren't there?
Yeah, there's not as many levels in this one, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at Runner 2 has 125 tantalizing levels and 5 death-defying bosses. So, yeah.
I don't know. But I did see, like, playing through the levels, you learn these songs. They do, like, reuse songs for, like, different levels, which I thought was kind of weird and interesting. I mean, obviously, to make 100 songs.
Yeah,
yeah. But, it's cool because, like, it's the same song, but way different levels. And the levels are really cool. I mean, so that's the other thing I need to get into is that, if you look at the logo, the Runner 3 logo, which I'm just going to say this is no offense to anyone at Choice Provisions or anything, but I think that the Runner 3 logo is so bad. I've ever since it came out. Like even if you look at like just for how insanely crazy the game is, like, and then like if you look at their Twitter, like the it's just a 3, and it's just like the most basic looking thing, and it's just like it's ironic because like the game is insane. Like there are crazy things happening the entire time you're playing, like. One of the, like I was playing at the end of the level or in the middle of the level, and you jump and you hit a trampoline that's on the wall now. So instead of hitting up to bounce off it, you have to hit left to bounce back, and then you jump up a level, and now you're heading the other way. So you'll be running in different directions on top of that too. So very fun, very inventive, very cool, and just wacky, super wacky. Charles Martinet does a good job narrating, of course. Right? I mean, of course he does a good job.
Well, yeah,
so.
he's
the
Is there anyone better?
No, there isn't.
In fact, there is not.
I'm serious. There isn't. He's Mario.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, iconic.
Yeah.
A gem.
Well, maybe the guy.
He's a gem.
Yeah. David Lloyd would say, well, the guy that does Sonic's voice.
He'd probably be like, oh, yeah, that guy? Well, I don't like Donkey Kong. And you'd be like, shut up, David. Well, I guess that first dig at him came in quick bites, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
All right.
Anyway, yes, that's Runner 3. You'll definitely hear about it more next week.
Yeah, this is the physical. Does the physical copy come out next week also?
It comes out the 22nd, I believe. So yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say I have it pre-ordered from Best Buy, so I'm sure I will get an email. Yeah, I'm looking right now. They'll notify me when it's ready for pickup. Well, that doesn't help me one iota.
I know.
You know.
I want to get it, even though I have it. Remember, I asked you to buy it for me physically.
I do.
Too?
You crumb bum. Yes, it releases. All right, so next Tuesday. So I won't talk about it next week because we record on Tuesdays, and I likely, am not going to have any time to play it beforehand. But
maybe a quick bite. Maybe.
Yeah, that might be yeah. Since you talked about it, that might be a good quick bite material.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, a fabulous game. Very cool. I just, while I'm playing it, I think his name is Mike from Choice Provisions that we interviewed, and I just remember he had so much like he kept you could just see the pride in his eyes for this game, and him saying, and I mean that in a good way, and he told us like that this was the most fun he's ever had making a video game ever was the making of this game. And that it was just amazing, and it shows in this. So
yeah, it's always good when you've got people who are just passionate about what they're doing.
Absolutely. So check out Runner 3 when that is released next week. But next up, we have a game that you've been playing. You haven't been able to talk to, but both of these games you've been playing for a while, and you haven't been able to talk about.
I've been under wraps.
You've been under embargo.
Yes, this next game I'm talking about required me to bust out the old 3DS because it is Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux.
I'm booing the 3DS now.
Yeah, well, which is so funny because that used to be your darling.
Oh, it is my
That used to be your ladybird, and now you hate her.
Ladybird, Daddy's got your din-din.
But yes, Shin Megami Tensei.
My dog is not racist.
Oh, wasn't that with Bernie Mac too?
Yeah, I swear on my 20 years of selling propane and propane accessories that me and my dog are not racist. I just watched that.
Bernie Mac was the man.
2 hours ago.
I missed that guy.
Yep.
But
yeah, me too.
But yeah, moving along here. Strange Journey is a game that I did not play when it first came out on the DS, And since that point, I've gotten into the SMT universe, and I really like it a lot. I played 4 Apocalypse, Devil Survivor, and obviously, the Persona game. So it's like I've dabbled a little bit in here. So I was excited to get my hands on Strange Journey because, I've heard some things like it wasn't a great game, and then I've heard some other things. So I just was like, all right, let's just see what this is all about, right? So you get into there, and the story's pretty interesting. In the, 4 and Apocalypse, you're in Tokyo, and, in like a post-apocalyptic world, and, this, that, and the other thing, demons are roaming around. But this actually sees us where the Earth is in, like, grave danger, because down at, like, the Antarctic, there is something called the Schwarzwelt, I believe is how you pronounce that. And
that's good.
They don't know exactly what it is, but it's slowly engulfing the world. So it's, expanding, and essentially it's going to just take over the world, and they're like, we need to find out how to stop this thing. So they send in some probes, and all of a sudden you get images back, and it's just like they're just not, like, it doesn't make sense, because it's like, oh, well, that looks like a city, and and like this looks, it looks like these, like, there's no way these pictures are what's inside of that thing, like, it doesn't make sense. So essentially you are part of a unit, and there's a few of these units, and they've got like these big armored cars that could, like, actually, they've got like jets that could boost them up to fly, and essentially it's like, we're gonna boost up over this wall, and we're gonna land in this thing, and we're gonna see what the heck's going on. So, you're flying up in there, and, like, things go haywire, and you find yourself stuck in here, and you are, like, trying to, in the beginning, you're sort of repairing and getting everything back on board within the ship, and then it's like, all right, now we need to find a way out, and, you're going in different areas, and they're just drastically changing, so one area, you're like, okay, you're like, sort of like a cityscape or whatever, now you're in, like, this other zone, and it's like, none of this makes sense, so it's like you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and why, what this thing is, and why everything's so weird and different, and that's, I'm honestly not all that far story-wise, I think I've played probably about 10-ish hours, I need to
only 10 hours.
Well, I believe this is like a 70-hour game. I believe, I go to howlongtobeat.com, and it pretty much, when there's like a game, like if you look up Zelda, it'll be blue, because it's got so many scores submitted that's a pretty accurate time to beat it,
Oh, okay,
where this game was red and it was 70, so it probably means they only had like 1 or 2 people submit time. So I don't know if that's 100% true, but I'm expecting it to be a long game. But
that's a long game, dude.
Yeah, so story-wise, that's sort of the ground rules there, and then you're sort of trying to figure out what's up. And then, as far as the gameplay goes, it is not like, like 4 and Apocalypse, where you're sort of running around third person, and then you engage in battles that way. It actually plays much more like Etrian Odyssey, where, have you ever played one of those games?
No.
Essentially, it's like first-person dungeon crawling. So it's like your screen, like your top screen is like you literally like moving forward one box. Then you could like turn right, and like this screen, then all of a sudden it said that you'll face to the right in that same box. Like it's a big grid essentially, and you're moving along the grid,
Gotcha.
but it's in first person. And then you engage in random battles, and then that's when you're more standard SMT fare, where you get your demons and your fusing and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little different, like, when in some of the later ones where you fuse 2 demons together, it's like their weapon, like their ability pools are sort of mixed, and you can mix and match what you like. This one's a little different, like, it doesn't give you, like, the full set to pick from, like, it sort of just picks them for you, unless you use some sort of core that you get from certain demons, which I think if you have them on your team and like you analyze them fully, that you get their core, and then you could use those, but it's a one-time use, and then that will let you pick from all of their abilities that they have. So those are sort of like when you're like, all right, it's time. Maybe I got a boss upcoming. I'm going to use one of these cores to make a super demon that has, all the abilities I'm going to need, healing ability, some good offensive abilities and stuff like that. And to me, the fusing's always fun. But that is one thing I don't miss is, like, negotiating with demons. And that's sort of how you recruit them, is you talk to these demons, and then some of them don't want to talk to you at all, and there's just, that's that. But most of them will talk to you, but it seems very random. Like, they'll just be like, so, like, what are you doing here? Why are you in this area? And it'll be like, you could pick, I'm an adventurer, I'm a demon hunter, or, oh, I'm just wandering around, And it's like, you could sort of try and judge off maybe what the demon looks like, and hope that you pick the right answer. But a lot of it is sort of guessing and hoping for the best, and that doesn't always work. Sometimes they'll get angry and just leave, or sometimes they'll attack you, and then you can't recruit them anymore because now they're angry at you, so it's like, all right, now I gotta kill them. But that's always sort of been a little bit with, Shin Megami Tensei is like, you gotta sort of put up with that little bit of annoyance. But, it's sort of a minor complaint, but I don't know. But as far as the game itself goes, I am enjoying it. Feels good to have the old 3DS back out and kicking alive. It's funny when I stop to think about it. I feel like I've played my 3DS a whole bunch this year.
Yeah, you have. I haven't played it once.
Because I'm not above going back to my old things in lieu of my new shiny things.
I have no time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got time to play Runner and all those other games.
Thirsty Mage.
What's up?
That's the only reason you played it is because of Thirsty Mage.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Right?
I was going to cancel and not play it just because of time constraints and stuff, but with Dark Souls getting pushed back, it seemed like a good time. Like, if I'm ever going to play this game, it's going to be now, so... And yeah, I know David and I believe Neil will be doing another Thirsty Mage review type episode, which worked really well with Alliance
that one was
Alive.
Amazing.
And I think
yeah,
I think
that got tons of views.
Yeah, I think this game would do well from that kind of discussion as well.
Now, do you think you're gonna finish this game?
I'm gonna do my damnedest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for me right now, I've finished Yonder. I'm going to finish that video review tonight, so it's like I don't really have anything else on the docket. I've got some games to mess around with, but I think I'm going to try and really hammer away at SMT and try and, if I can, get, a bunch of time in and get as close. I want to beat it. I do want to beat it, but we'll see how it goes.
I demand you beat it.
All right, we're never playing Splatoon or Rocket League again.
Yeah,
well, what do you mean we haven't played Neons?
My name's Casey. I only like to play super long RPGs.
My name is Keith Hernandez.
I'm Keith Hernandez. And with that, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to get onto the old eShop.
eShop, baby! Alrighty, we are back, and it is that time once again, Perry.
What time
for
is
the
that?
old...
The eShop Roundup. Yeehaw.
And to start us off, if you don't know what the eShop Roundup is, we go through all the latest releases released in the last week on the eShop on the Switch. And we're starting off with 3/4 Home Extended Edition for $8.99. This is an interesting little game that we have that my friend Julia actually reviewed for Nintendo World Report. It's very interesting, and it takes place in Nebraska. And that's all you have to know.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I like the art style here.
Yeah.
I don't really... Is it a...
It's
like a sort of a story
like
adventure?
texty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Now, next up, we've got Super Charlotte, right? Charlotte? Chariot. Oh, you know what? It looked like an L
it does.
when I'm looking from far away, but then, yeah. Chariot.
No, I hear you.
Super
Someone
Chariot.
used to visit The
I've
Eye
actually,
Doctor.
I've actually played this game, or not
On
the
Wii U?
Super version, on the Wii U.
Oh, really? Did you buy it?
I feel like it was part of a Humble Bundle or something. Like I got a
No,
code
'cause-
somewhere. I feel like.
I didn't get it. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm not sure.
It's
like
a
a
heavily
co-op
game.
puzzly game.
Yeah.
Platformer puzzle.
And there's a demo for it.
Boom, and it is
So-
$19.99. So it is a fully priced eShop game there, but
Yep.
cool nevertheless.
Next up, we have a Xevious type arcade archive, and that's Terra Cresta for $7.99. Looks great. Looks like a great shoot 'em up.
Nice little shmup.
Yep, it really looks a lot like Xevious, so which isn't bad. But Casey, don't worry. It's not just an arcade archive. There's also a Neo Geo game this week, and this one looks amazing.
Yes, sir. Super Sidekicks 2, which is a soccer game, as one might imagine. And yeah, it looks like some nice, big old, beautiful sprites.
Dude, those
Some really cool animations, like the celebrations and stuff.
Yeah, I like the one with just the guy like in the green shirt, just holding up his hands,
As the
Yes!
confetti rains down upon him.
as it always does at soccer games.
See, now it's a shame. I wish like that would be a game. Imagine they added some online, like the NES
I
games
know.
are getting. Like that would be
I know.
perfect. But those
know.
last two games both check in at the hamster price of $7.99.
That's right. Next up, we have a game we talked about last week from Tiny Build, Garage. I really, really like this game. Top down, it's if 10 Tons made a
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Yeah, I mean that's really the best way to put it for me. Cool looking game. I think this is from the same people that made Mr. Shifty. Now, and I know you weren't super big on that game, but it really makes me want to go back and play Mr. Shifty.
Man, yeah, I don't know if it's just because I bought Goner at like the same time and that's all I
Yeah.
needed, you know. But I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
it did not do it for me, and I know
Yeah.
it got a lot of praise, but
Yeah.
moving right.
Now, how much
along
was
here.
Garage?
Garage
14?
is $14.99.
Okay, $14.99. But yes.
Now,
moving along.
moving right along here, we've got Suicide Guy, which is an interesting. Wake
guy
up
running.
to save your beloved one. This is an adventure puzzle game, $7.99, and yeah,
Looks like it's first person, and all the screenshots are in different places, and it looks so weird.
like one looks like it's like a sort of a westerny thing, but then there's just like a random sort of modern
Space.
building there, a space. Then all of a sudden it looks like you're in like a castle. This game's all
Yeah.
over the place, and you're a chef apparently too from
Yeah.
Overcooked. Who knows?
Yep. Anyway. Next up, we have a familiar game. Speaking of Humble Bundle, The Fall. And it looks like it has a launch price. 30% off for $6.99. So this will be $9.99. Yeah, this game's great. If you like, it's a very atmospheric game. And it is an adventure game. But there is some action sprinkled in too. Yeah. Good game. I really do like The Fall. I really got hooked into that. Really good for at night with in the dark to play the game.
Nice atmospheric.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yes.
Now next up is one of Casey's favorite series.
Not one of the favorite. That is
Sorry.
One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 Deluxe Edition from Bandai Namco.
I still don't know anything
$39.99.
about this.
Now this right here, let me tell you all about it, is an action game, according to Nintendo's fine page right here. It
It
almost
has
sort
use
of,
tobacco.
looking at it, it almost sort of looks like a Dynasty Warriors game,
Yeah.
in the sense that I just see a ton of enemies. Yeah, 188 KOs, 284. Looks like got some split screen. Yeah, and it's
There
got
is
that
some
one guy.
terrifying anime CGI in this game.
Yeah, I noticed I should say I recognize the one guy. I don't know his name, but I feel like I see him in all of these like anime games.
Mm-hmm.
With like the sort of the corn, not corn pipe hat. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He's got that.
It's very
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I'm watching the trailer. Yeah, it looks like Warriors, absolutely. So
Well, those games are fun. So if that's your cup of tea, there you go.
There you go. Next up, for 1999, we have Immortal Redneck. I just listened to Famicast, the Bivs, talk about this game, and yep, and it's a first-person shooter, roguelike, and man, again, the screenshots.
Oh, the game looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
It looks bonkers. So, like you said, it's another one of those sort of like, looks like you're in a medieval castle. You're in like some sort of forest or tropical area inside a pyramid. Interesting.
Yep.
1999. I don't know if you said that or not.
Yep. Next up, we have Kitten Squad. This is a free game.
Why don't you download it?
Well, it has DLC for $4.99. I think this is made by PETA. I think I read. Yep. It's an action game brought to you by PETA, and sadistic robots have enslaved orcas at Sealand Marine Park.
Alright.
PETA's so weird, dude. It's just so weird.
Speaking of free downloads, we've got another one here. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battles Special Trial. So this looks sort of like some sort of glorified demo. Maybe sort of like
the collision is inevitable.
Yeah.
The impact will be unavoidable.
Get ready to create your own dream team and take on opponents from 4 different franchises.
Looks like a nice fighting game. That's probably all I have to say.
Yeah.
Next up,
And
we
a
have
demo.
Hyper Sentinel for $12.99.
I've heard some things about this game.
Yeah, it's
Positive
a hyperactive arcade shoot-'em-up action game. Looks cool. It reminds me of that roguelike game that you reviewed. It was really fun that we played co-op at PAX.
Oh, Hammerwatch? Doomhammer?
No. The shooter. What part of...
Oh,
I guess I said yeah.
Steriden?
Steriden, yeah. It kind of reminds me of that. Looks really cool, pixely, fun. Justination said it was awesome, so he liked it. So
next up here we've got Inksplosion.
Inksplosion,
which
with
is
a promo price of $3.99.
This is like an arcade shooter, but it's like a playfully fun one. It almost sort of looks like a really sort of Splatoon-esque, like it looks like you're trying to cover up the most of the map, but it's a very simplistic map. It's not like you're running around in a 3D space.
Yeah, it's just exactly.
$3.99.
There you go. Next up, did you say free download, Casey?
I said free 99.
Well, Keith Hernandez, we have the Pinball Arcade. Free download with tons of DLC that you can get. If it's pinball.
You know what though?
People
That's
love
nice.
Pinball.
That's nice. Give them the free download. Let them play a little bit, and then And that's the best thing about a pinball game. It's like,
get him.
You get used to the gameplay, and if you like the gameplay, you buy the tables. But
Boom.
Next up, we've got the Mystery of the Hudson Case.
I smell
a point
an
and
adventure
click
game.
Adventure. Yep.
Anything with the mystery of the something is an adventure game.
For $4.89. I tell you what, the art is really, really cool. I mean, a point and click, so they're most likely
I almost bought it.
just still, images that you're clicking around on, but very eerie, very cool looking, very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish I could get into adventure games and stuff. It's like even getting into like Ace Attorney is tough for me. Like I wear out towards the end of those games,
I hear ya.
But I do like them. I'm just
It reminds
dumb.
me. It reminds me, back when in elementary school when you were in the dumb kid class and you had to learn about addition and multiplication and subtraction and division. And boy, do I have some good news for you, Casey.
What's that?
Did you like my segue into these next games?
Yeah, we got a bunch right here. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Calculation Castle. Yeah, that's why I mentioned.
Well, it's
like,
so funny.
How did he know I was in the dumb class in elementary
Well,
school?
that's what I was thinking, dude. But like, all right, so I when I was younger, I had trouble reading. Like, I mean, we're talking when I was in like kindergarten into like elementary school. I guess I was a slow reader. And
Sure.
so I was in like the resource room, you know, and then eventually like by the time 5th grade I got out of it. But then you're like, when you were in the dump class, I was like, did I tell him about that? And he just had like impeccable memory. But then when you went to math, and I was like, oh, he must be talking about something else, because I was pretty good at math.
I'm sorry. I brought up bad memories.
Are you laughing at little old me? Nah, I don't
Little
care.
young you.
Yeah, I don't mind.
That's funny.
I worked my way out of it.
Yeah. Anyway, these next games, there's 4 different ones. They're $9.99. They probably could have benefited from the DLC, maybe. But there's literally Calculation Castle, Addition, Multiplication, Subtraction, Division.
Perry.
Yeah.
I demand you play Calculation Castle, Greco's Ghostly Challenge. Oh, which
Please
one?
don't pick.
Division.
Oh, how did you know that? That's the one I didn't want. You piece of crap.
Idiot.
All right. Purchased.
I'm getting
Next up,
Edition. Where's the reading one?
Yeah.
Where's Reading Railroad?
Yeah, is there anything easier than adding things? Anyway.
I love adding, yeah. You know what? I love basic math. It's when you start
me
throwing
too.
all the formulas and crap in there, that's when it's like, ugh, you know?
Yeah.
I ain't got time for all that.
I'm gonna stop you up there just a second, Perry. I fixed my mic, so now I should be sounding better. I plugged in that webcam to actually give Perry a sneak peek earlier of the challenge that you guys can actually go watch right now on NWR TV on YouTube.
Boom.
But
Wow, nice save.
but yes. Now that should be sounding more beautiful, let's get into this next game here.
Yes, Splitter
as we continue.
Critters. And what's that? I know what you're thinking. Isn't that the award-winning freeform puzzle game that puts world-splitting power into your hands?
Whew. I knew we were gonna get to that eventually. I just didn't know when, but now I'm glad.
Yeah, well,
We're into it now.
Here we have Splitter Critters. It's a very cute looking game where you do just that. And I'm looking, it looks like you tear the screen and stuff, and looks cool actually. You know,
yeah, it looks
why
interesting.
not?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's touchscreen.
I guess you'll have to find out because I demand you. No. Next up here
I'll
we've
take
got
this game way over Ghostly Challenge Division.
Oh yeah. Next up here we've got The Adventures of Elena Temple for $4.99, and
Boom.
yeah, you played this one, right?
Yeah, we talked about this on the show.
Yes.
It's great. I totally recommend it. Very fun game. It's totally like an old Game Boy game, and it's a fun platformer. And you know, it's not too long, so it's really nice for $4.99. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice price. I know I've said it before, but like I always used to be like, well, I used to go out to the bars and you spend $5 on a single beer, you know. So like I will never feel bad spending $5 on a video game that even if it only gets me a couple hours, like to me it was already more beneficial than that, you know, $5 beer. So like a Coors Light. But anyway, I digress.
Yep.
Now this next game here, I've heard so much about, and
This seems like it's so up your alley.
Yeah, and I've not really. I mean, I've looked at some screens, but the game we were talking about is Battle Chasers Night War for $39.99. Now this is an RPG, which, like I said, I really don't know too much about it aside from that everyone who's played it raves about it.
It's amazing, yeah, and I think it's a JRPG. You know?
Yeah, I believe Neil dubbed it the best JRPG made by a Western developer.
There you go.
I mean, the art style here, the art style here is just wonderful. I mean, I'm really liking, and then it looks like the character design is like a nice drawn, sort of like, you know, they pop up on the forefront of the screen, sort of like a Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really cool. For
like
$40,
crafting system
and it's from Nordic Games. They were Darksiders, right?
Yep. THQ was, yeah.
Oh yeah, all right, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's THQ Nordic, so Yeah, I think they have something to do there. But very cool. Looks like a fun game, especially if like RPGs. And I know my buddy Casey likes his RPGs.
Ooh, we sure do. Sure do.
We have one more game. Can you believe it? One more game, and that is. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say we were making quick work of this.
Yeah.
We've gotten efficient. You know, I feel like we used to dabble a little too long, and you know what? I shouldn't say it was a little too long. It was just because of the volume. You know, we could dabble.
Yeah.
But
we could dabble.
You know, now the eShop Roundup is so busy week in and week out. It's we got to keep our pedal to the metal, as
We're
they say.
becoming more efficient cowboys.
Yes, yeah. Spurs to the horse.
Yep. Last up we have is Wizard of Legend for $15.99. It's and I believe this is the interesting enough published by Humble Bundle.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Well, it's funny. I'm looking at the screenshots, and
They look awesome.
not so much the character or enemy design, but just the actual environments remind me of Hammerwatch. That
Yeah.
game we played, you know.
Totally.
But yeah,
Doomhammer.
the old Doomhammer.
Yeah, and it's co-op roguelike, I think. So cool.
David sucks.
All right. Well, that'll do it.
Yeehaw!
That'll do it for the eShop Roundup, and I believe we're gonna head on right into the dang old
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Yes, sir. It is that time again, and it is time for some news. Now,
it's gonna be hard for me to play Runner 3 while
you
you're
jerk.
talking.
That's all right. You could just
Okay, I'll play Donkey
leave.
Kong.
Why don't you just leave?
I'll play some Donkey Kong. All right.
I'll just play some more RPGs.
All right.
Which I probably could do. Yeah, so mindless grinding while
Yeah.
doing this. But you know what? I'm dedicated to my craft. Okay, I'm not
you
a
are
bum.
totally welcome to do that.
Nope. I have standards.
Okay.
And morals. No, but moving along here into the news, we knew this was coming at some point. Nintendo had sort of been mum on the topic, though, but we finally got confirmation that the NES Classic is coming back, baby. That's right. If you missed out,
Yes.
just like 98% of everyone else did, you could finally get an NES Classic starting June 29th, and they are expecting it to be available through the end of the year, which already would be way longer than the original print run was. You know, what was that? I
good
feel
for
like
them.
it came out, like it was out for like a month or
I
two,
don't
where it's
know.
like 2 shipments and then it was done. But
what a funny debacle that was. They should have had 4 times the amount that they had, you know.
Yeah.
And they still would have been in supply.
yeah,
They still would have been sought after. I had people at work like that really wanted to get them for their kids and they couldn't. That's bad, you know. Like they were on the lookout and they could not find them anywhere. It's just like, come on.
yeah. I'm hoping.
bad.
I'm hoping they'll be more readily available. I mean, I've gone into stores that have SNES Classics, so it'd be nice to sort of be able to go into a Best Buy or Target or whatever and be able to see an NES Classic there. I'll probably pick one up if I do happen to see it, but I don't think I'm going to break my back trying to find one. I mean, if like a pre-order comes up on Best Buy or something, you know, I'll snag it up, but...
because you don't have one.
No, I've got the SNES Classic.
See, you got to get one so we can do challenges on that.
That would be nice. I will
It'd be
admit, that would
super
be nice. Speaking of which, we need to jump back into our SNES Classics for that, but that's
Absolutely.
neither here nor there. But
Super
you know
Ghouls and
what?
Ghosts.
Yeah, ooh, Doctor. That'd be a good one. But
that game is so dang hard.
oh, I know.
It's impossible.
We'll see who can last the longest without dying, you know.
Seriously. There we go.
Now, this next bit of news is pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And what is it?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, I asked you to tell me.
Oh,
first.
is Jimmy not even looking at the document
I'm
nowadays?
looking at the doc. Mario Ace's online test is coming June 1st through June 3rd, so almost to my birthday.
When is your birthday?
June the 4th.
June 4?
Yep.
All right, I'm not talking to you that day.
Oh,
Just gonna
okay.
ignore you. You want to hear? You want to hear the
It's
worst?
a Tuesday?
The worst story ever. My mom's birthday
It's a Monday. Yeah.
is February
no.
21st, and
Oh no.
I forgot, but I didn't forget. Here's the thing.
Casey.
So
Oh.
no, because for me, her birthday's easy. It's a week after Valentine's Day. So I remember, I even remember talking to Caitlin. I was like, all right, my mom's birthday's tomorrow. Like, I'll call her or text her or whatever. And my dad, he works in the middle of the night. So he texted me what I thought was the 20th going into, like, it would have just turned the 21st, you know, like it was like midnight or 12:30. And he's like, yeah, your mom's birthday's today. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, I'm not going to text her at like 12:30 at night, you know, I'll just wait till the morning. And then the next morning at work, I looked, I was like, oh my God, it's the 22nd.
You big.
I felt horrible. I felt so bad. But
You didn't even throw a party or have anything for her?
oh, well, I think I went over that weekend because it was the middle of the week, so you know I wouldn't have gone over
Is
there.
this like this year?
Yeah, this past February.
Casey.
Yeah, no, I felt.
All that Chris has done for you.
Yeah, like I
All
said
those
though.
Christmases.
In all fairness, it's like I just completely botched what day, like the actual days. I didn't forget her birthday. I just botched the days.
That better not have been. Well, no, it could. Wait, that was on a Tuesday.
No, I think it was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
Yeah, because I remember it was Wednesday night going into Thursday, and yeah, I was like, that's weird. My dad texted me to like remind me. It's like I'll talk to her tomorrow, you know, during her birthday.
You idiot.
Meanwhile, my mom's sitting there all day like, why the heck isn't Casey texted me
Yeah.
or called? Terrible
Aw.
son. This just in,
Did you
news blog.
apologize?
Casey's a terrible son. Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, like in that morning, I was like, oh my God, like I explained it all, and she was like, oh, it's all right, you know, like it's fine, kind of thing. But I was like, oh God, I felt miserable.
Oh.
But I'm also going to feel miserable during the Mario Aces online test because I will not really be available to play.
Why?
So my buddy, one of my best buddies from college,
Ugh.
Dan, is getting married, and that is his bachelor party weekend there. So, so the second is, you know, we're going
Bachelor
to be going,
party
yeah.
weekend?
Well, what it is, it's Saturday into Sunday, but I don't. There might be there might be something going on in the June. I don't know. I need to talk to some people, but worst case is I get to play a little bit that evening, that Friday evening, and maybe early Saturday. But otherwise, I'll be booked up, and I'll be drinking beers and doing things you do at bachelor parties.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I've never been to one. It'll be my first.
You're a sick man. They're awful. Anyway, that's Mario Aces online test. Can't wait to play it. I'll be playing and not going to bachelor parties then.
That's all right. You can text me in, but I think I'm going to be having quite a bit of fun on my end as well, so I think it'll work out for everyone.
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to have any fun.
At the bachelor party, they're like, where the heck's Casey? I'm just playing tennis. Honestly, though, it's like, I probably could bring the Switch, play some late-night tennis. Some drunken tennis.
Why not?
It'll bring me back to my college days playing Wii Sports. But moving along here, we've got some news that I am absolutely stoked for, and that is...
Okay, good.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon from Indie Creates. This was actually just shown off the other day, but the best thing is...
Why didn't they have this at PAX?
Yeah, I wonder why. It would have been perfect. But you know what? It's even better is that it was announced, and it's coming out May 24th. So, next week, baby. And it's coming Switch and 3DS for $9.99 for each version, not for both of them. But, yeah, this is a... Obviously, Bloodstained is sort of like the spiritual successor to Castlevania with Iga, you know? So this was, I guess, commissioned as part of the Kickstarter as sort of like a stretch goal that it was like a mini 8-bit game within it or something. And, it looks like Castlevania 3, some classic Castlevania, and, oh, baby, it looks awesome. I can't wait.
It does look amazing. And it's so weird that, like... It's so weird how, like, Mighty No. 9 and Bloodstained are, like, connected through Inti Creates. I mean, are they... that's weird, right? It's like this.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe they're just, knew that Indie Creates does some really great, obviously with Blaster Master Zero and stuff. They do some great work with, like, IPs like that, so maybe they just figured it'd be a good fit, and they reached out to him. Or maybe they have, friends between. I don't know.
It must be, right? What do you think the sequel to Blaster Master Zero is going to be called?
Blaster Master -1.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Supercharged edition.
I wonder if it's gonna be 02.
I don't know. I mean, they could just go. I mean, Zero could just be the sub name or whatever subtitle, and they could just do Blaster Master, and then whatever have you.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it doesn't need to be a numbered convention.
No, but I really think that they're gonna take off that zero. They're gonna use the Zero name. You know it's coming.
02.
It's a huge selling game. Like I know it's gonna come. I wouldn't.
And
be
that game
surprised
was
if
freaking awesome.
Oh, I know, man.
And they hit it early too. They were like that was week 2, right? Not even like it wasn't out a full week.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Week
well,
2,
I guess it was out.
It was
in
week
the
1 for me.
Yeah, in the EU, right?
It was out in Japan.
Oh,
I had
okay.
the review.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the best. Oh man.
So good, so good. But
Can't wait.
moving along here, we've got some other announcements that are
Yeah,
exciting.
this is pretty cool.
Yes, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is coming to the Switch August 28th. Now, this is obviously not Monster Hunter Worlds, and it is not Monster Hunter XX or Double Cross, that one that came out in the...
No, it is.
No, it's
It
not.
is Double Cross.
I don't think so. This is Generations.
I'm
pretty sure Generations...
It is Double Cross. I think that's what Generations is.
Yes, you are actually right. That is... I made a mistake there. That is Double Cross.
Fake news.
Yeah. You're an idiot, Casey. Yeah. Worst
Go back to
news
dumb
host
school.
ever. Yeah. Learn how to read. Apparently you can. But yeah, this is, I guess, for us Americans, if you played Monster Hunter Generations... Well, not just Americans. Canadians as well. Whoever played Generations on the 3DS. This is going to be, I guess...
Especially that David Lloyd, that jerk.
Oh, yeah.
Dang it, we missed out on the eShop Roundup.
Don't worry, we can edit it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like on the outro of, here, you can edit this in, like, after we're like, well, we'll take a quick break. David sucks.
That's going to be in there somewhere. Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. I played Monster Hunter 4, really liked that. I got, like, I think 60 hours into that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Generations, I played through, like, the main quest, and then I sort of stopped. But what's cool is you can import your 3DS save, and, I could jump off from there. Now, I think we're going to be on
really
board
cool.
for this, right? I think you, me, David, at least seems like everyone might be on board to play some Monster Hunter.
Oh, I dropped my bottle. Yes. I mean, if we can all commit to this, I would be totally on board. Absolutely.
Yeah, because to me, I really like Monster Hunter. I've had a lot of fun with it, but from what I understand, it takes on a whole nother life when you're playing multiplayer and online and stuff. So it would be really great, and I could see it being one of those Triforce Heroes, experiences. Obviously, not anywhere near the same type of gameplay, but that
Right.
getting together, working
Absolutely,
as a
dude.
team,
Yeah.
and doing this, and it just being really awesome.
Oh yeah. Looks So we'll see.
Yes.
But next up though, what do we have? It's something official from Nintendo.
Yes, the adjustable charging stand. July 13th for $19.99. It's sort of like a little cradle, but it keeps your Switch in there, and it charges it, which is nice. But the real reason I put this on the news was so we could talk about the real Play Stand. Hori Play Stand coming out with a couple new editions of the timeless wonder that is
And I
the
believe
Hori
that
Play
you
Stand.
said that you're going to be collecting these.
I should. I love those things, but
I use mine every day, and it has a Talk Nintendo Podcast PAX 2018 sticker on it.
Yep, and I copied it, and mine does as well.
Yeah, nice.
But now they have Zelda and Mario ones. So the Zelda one is sort of the standard black play stand, but has, the Zelda markings and Triforce stuff around it, or what have you. And then the Mario one's really cool. That one's red and has like different logos on it and stuff. Really cool. Again, I can't stress how awesome the Hori play stand is. So.
Yep, not just for Switch, but for everyday activity, for anything.
Like I said,
use it. Yeah, I use it to watch King of the Hill at work on my phone.
In your new office.
Yeah.
Jimmy. Yeah, I use it when I do my dishes. I pop my phone on there and watch whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you have a Bluetooth speaker?
We got one for the bathroom, to shower and stuff. But we got like a pretty cheap one, and it sucks. And like now it needs to be plugged into work, so it's like it still works, and I could play it from like the by the sink. But like I can't bring it into the shower and hear it great. But in the kitchen we have like just a speaker with a cord.
I want to recommend, and this is to everyone, and I'm serious, because Altec Bluetooth speakers. They have one called like the Jacket, but there's cheap ones that you can get on Amazon. Jacket, like H2O. I mean, there's really good ones, and they're like around, you can get them for like around $30-$40, and they are amazing. Like, amazing quality. They're rugged, durable. I've had mine over a year, and it still works perfect. I would highly recommend it. Altec Jacket. Just saying, because to me, it's like, like you see all these different weird brands, and I don't know what this brand is, so it's like, is this going to suck? And I've gone through that, like, with getting earbuds and getting headphones, and it's like
there's just so many. Yeah, you don't know where to determine.
Yeah, I don't know all this, like, but Altec is amazing. And the weird thing is, I saw this being sold. I had it, and then a year after I had it, I saw the same one being sold at Walgreens, and I was like, okay, so like they are getting some buzz because people have found out they're really good. So if you're looking for a cheap and really good Bluetooth speaker that has a lot of volume and a lot of bass and just a lot of good mix, Altec. There you go. And
on a completely unrelated note, this podcast is brought to you by Altec, Bluetooth wireless speaker. No,
I would gladly take them. Yeah.
No, moving along here, we've got a couple more little things to talk about. Nothing crazy, I should say, although that's before we even get into Rumor City. But let's get into Crash Bandicoot Trilogy has a new release date, and that is one day it's been pushed up. So now it is June 29th, which coincides with Wolfenstein 2 Day, I think. Nice. Although, you know what? That's a complete lie. I was going to say, I think Wolfenstein should outsell it, but honestly, Crash Bandicoot might. Who knows? People love Crash.
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait for Wolfenstein. Oh my god, man. After playing that demo, that is like the most fun I've ever had playing a demo.
Wow.
Just ripping through those sons of guns.
And you were like impressing Nintendo themselves.
I know, yeah. I know it. Well, it's funny, you look on YouTube on gameplay video that we've done, and it's like most of it's usually like, wow, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Like, don't even watch the video. You're better poking your eyes out than watching the video.
Yeah.
But then someone on the Wolfenstein was like, wow, someone who can finally aim. And I was like, had a tear in my eye. Like, stop it. Especially when I don't consider myself to be like a really good first-person shooter,
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, Hollow Knight, the much-anticipated indie game, is nearing the finish line, according to developers in an interview. What was also, I think, salient point from that interview is that they said there will absolutely be a physical copy. I guess they're still sort of in works with that, so they didn't have any hard details. But that's going to definitely be one I want physical.
You know what? When I hear physical copy, you know what comes to my mind?
What's that?
So you're telling me there's a chance? That's what I think of, but yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Now, last on the list here, until we get into a new sub-topic of...
Rumor City.
Yeah, until we get into Rumor City. We have the Smash Invitational list for... This is for E3?
Yes, this is... Yep.
Yeah, so we have Armada from Sweden.
He is the... He's... I think
Swedish representative?
Well, I think he was the #1 Melee player in the world for a while. I think he's probably 2 now.
Okay. Plup.
He is an up-and-coming... I don't know how much you really care about high-level Smash play. But
No, I'd love to hear you, yeah.
So essentially, in the Melee world, there's 6 quote-unquote gods, which are, like, just... Pretty much, they're the ones who win the tournaments, you know what I mean? Like, there are other people who make splashes, but, like, they're the 6 who win. Plup is, like, right outside that. Like, he's won some tournaments with the other guys there, so he's probably, like, you know, right outside of that being, you know, a top dog, but he's real good, too.
And Lucky?
He is... I know his name, and I know he is popular. I think he's probably more of a popular pick than, like, a world-renowned... Like, he's still a great player, you know, but not like some of these other guys.
About Mango.
Yes, he is another one of the gods. He was the best for a while, and people love him. He's like the I'm gonna party and have a good time, and he streams and stuff now. And Mango Nation, people love the Mango.
Do you love him?
Yeah, I'm a Mango fan. I like Mango.
Now, what about MK Leo?
That
from Mexico.
He is a Smash 4 player. I believe he's really, really good too. I think these next 4 are Smash 4, so I'm not as familiar with them. But yeah.
Well, he's Mexican. We got Abadango from
Greatest
Japan.
name, Abadango.
Yep. We have Mr. R, which is that from Netherlands?
Yep.
Is that okay? You put Nethlands.
Nethland.
And I thought maybe you meant to put Methlands.
Nope.
And okay. And then Zero from Chile.
Yes, and I believe he was the winner of the last Invitational and the only returning guest. And he was the top dog in Smash 4 for a long while. I don't know if he still is. I'd imagine he is probably still up there. So what's cool is...
Who's used?
I think he's Zero Suit Samus. But I don't know that for sure.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But
Zero Suit Samus is crazy good.
But what's cool is a lot of representation from all over the world in this Invitational.
Yeah.
You know,
Sweden,
6
USA,
different...
Mexico, Japan, Netherlands, Chile.
Yeah, 6 different countries. Pretty cool stuff, if you ask me.
And, yeah, absolutely. But, you know what I'm really excited for?
For the city!
My trip to the...
City
Rumor City. In the city. Rumor City.
There'll be rumors. Yes, on the mean streets of Rumor City, there are rumors about, and they are interesting.
And do you know who the mayor of Rumor City is this time, in this term? John Raridan.
Raridan?
John Raridan.
Well, it's funny, actually. You'd mentioned before that with John doing the voiceover for Yonder's video review, that it'd be
You mean
Cody.
Cody?
Yeah, so he goes, this will be Cody's first review. So I was laughing at that before. But, yeah, this first rumor here is this one came out the other day, and I feel like it sort of snowballed. Like, it came out, and then all of a sudden it just started catching fire, and it seems... like it could be pretty real, and that is Star Fox Grand Prix, or Prix.
I don't believe it.
Now, this was from a Reddit post. It goes, "What
It's
retro?"
not Prix.
No, I know. What Retro Studios is working on is a spin-off based on an existing Nintendo IP that you haven't worked with before. ... Star Fox. It's actually a racing game, something like Diddy Kong Racing mixed with F-Zero, essentially, but more like F-Zero gameplay. It will have an adventure mode of some kind, think Diddy Kong Racing, and there will be some boss fights and a hub world like that too, and it is called Star Fox Grand Prix. Now, This and then I guess there were also logos floating about too. Pretty standard, sort of generic logos. What you might, if it is true, would probably be placeholders until the big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it sounds great. Obviously, like, what kind of a person would I be if I said this doesn't sound amazing? I want to know how in depth the story is and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know what that means, what the Diddy Kong, because Diddy Kong Racing has an awesome story mode and a hub world and everything. And if they take that idea to the max, to like maybe even having like, having like an open world or something, that would be really, really crazy awesome. The Grand Prix, the idea of racing with Star Fox, like, it's weird, right? I mean, it's F-Zero and Star Fox. And is that what they're going? Like, is this going to be the F-Zero game? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is Captain Falcon going to be in this?
Yeah,
and if that's strange. The case, like, whoa, like, that would be absolutely bonkers and so cool.
That'd be an awesome crossover.
Oh, man.
And it makes sense, too, because, all right, so F-Zero is pretty space-based, right? Like, I guess if you were to go into the lore, I mean, who's to say they're not in the same universe, just very, very far away in different, not in the Lilat system, but, maybe Star Fox and the boys venture out and they happen to stumble across F-Zero. But what's interesting is...
well, there's real connections, too.
And I was going to say, even the if you look from Star Fox Command, I believe at the end of it, they've got a little quote here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but essentially it was, but then Falco had an idea that changed everything. Falco had a brainstorm, retire as pilots and engineer their R-Wings into racing machines. They would enter the high-speed world of G0 Grand Prix racing. When Falco saw excitement return to his friend's face, relief coursed through him. Fox and Falco turned out to be great F-Zero team or G0 team. Winning race after race, they became household names across a countless number of planetary systems. Their days as part of the Star Fox faded to a distant memory. The curse of Pigma ending.
That's beautiful.
So it's not unprecedented that that this is a thing. It could be real.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
To me, this sounds awesome because first off, I love F-Zero. I love that gameplay. I think, I love Mario Kart and stuff too, but I love the high speed racing, of F-Zero. And, F-Zero for GameCube is like one of my favorite racing games of all time. It's so much fun. But when you look at what it could be, especially if they do develop and really flesh out that single player to tell a story, to make it interesting, different, I love the idea of the hub world and stuff, especially, flying around in it. I'd imagine they'd have, obviously, flying races, but also, ground races and stuff as well. Again, sort of that Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong Racing multiple crafts. I guess I feel like, because I saw a lot of people, like, not excited about this, and, obviously if you don't like racing games, I can understand that, but I think the big issue with everyone is that it's retro, and they wanted something different, and to me, it's like, I guess, to me, obviously retro's not working on Prime, or, a Metroid game, so it's like, to me, this is cool. I might have liked maybe just a brand new IP, something completely new. But if they weren't going the new IP route, like, this sounds really cool to me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I guess, like, part of me is like, okay, new Star Fox game, like, we just had a Star Fox game. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's kind of weird that, like, and I wasn't, like, super big on Star Fox Zero. Like, I really liked it. But I wasn't, like, okay, I want more Star Fox now, Mm-hmm. So it's like, I want Wario.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
you're-
I
well,
want, like,
you're
there's
getting
other
it,
things
right?
I want.
Wario's coming out for the old 3DS at some point.
Yeah,
I forget when.
Too. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's gonna be
August
great.
3rd.
Finally,
August 3rd.
is that date already out?
Yep, WarioWare Gold for the Nintendo 3DS.
I will
August
be playing
3rd.
3DS this year, unless it's announced that it's coming to Switch as well. But it's not because the huge thing is.
You know what though? They might. That could be maybe
Yeah, I
be an
mean-
E3 announcement. That would be more probably more of like a Treehouse announcement, but it could happen. It's not unprecedented with Sushi Striker. There's
Yeah,
hope
no,
yet,
you're right.
Perry.
You're right. You're right. Thank you, enabler
Yeah.
of hope.
You know what?
But,
I'll take that title gladly.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the idea of Star Fox Grand Prix. I mean, I love Star Fox. And I guess it might be because I'm playing Star Fox Adventures right now, and
Poor guy.
I pine for a better Star Fox. But I love Retro. They're probably my favorite developer. I mean, consistently they are my favorite developer. You know, they're probably I'd call them my favorite. Yeah. So this is gonna be interesting. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it at all right now.
Yeah, I'm like honestly 50-50 as far as I believe it or not. Because it doesn't sound that far-fetched if you think about it. Star Fox generally is,
after Mario vs. Rabbids,
yeah,
or Mario and
anything's
Rabbids,
possible. But
nothing's far-fetched.
But yeah, I don't know, to me Star Fox is never like a barn burner. So it's like, why not try a little something different with it? And then, maybe this pans out and it's the best Star Fox. Maybe Star Fox jumps the shark and just becomes a racing game from now on. Do you hear that? That's John crying in the background, like, no!
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the answer, right? Because like to me, it's like, well, everyone's like, well, they just keep remaking the original Star Fox. It's like, well, that's what it is. It's an on-rail shooter, and then the open segments too. So yeah, I mean, maybe this could be like a reboot for the franchise. Maybe the idea is taking Star Fox and merging it with F-Zero and making this gigantic, really awesome game that leaves everyone foaming in their mouths for this game, because it sounds awesome when I put it that way.
Yeah, like you said, I really think if this was a leak and it was attached to anyone else, I don't even know, Platinum or some, whatever, it's some other developer, like everyone would probably be like, oh heck yeah, like that sounds crazy cool, like
Exactly.
It's just, I think it's really just the fact that it's retro and people want something
Yeah.
more grandiose.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. And and it's weird. It's like, it's unbelievable to me, because I'm thinking, well, wait a second. That means this has been in development for so long, and they developed Star Fox Zero while they were doing this? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not that uncommon, especially since it's not like it's a true mainline title where it'd be like very similar gameplay, in development. Like,
well, and here's the other thing. When they announced, before they announced Tropical Freeze, okay, this is way back, E3 2013, okay, months before it, Retro said they were being, and this is a crazy hint, but they were saying, like, people, what are you making, and they tweeted out, we're developing a new kind of barrel roll. They said that.
oh man, did they?
Yeah, they did.
And it's official.
And so, well, then when they said that, I was like, oh, okay. So then they're doing another, to me, it was like, okay, they're doing another Tropical Freeze. Because the barrel roll, the barrels and the
yeah,
thing,
your natural
like
course would go to that.
And then they announced, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, right?
Yeah, and it made sense. Oh,
But now it's like, whoa, wait a second. because they probably were developing. I mean, if this is true, then they were developing Star Fox at that time too, and maybe it's like it all ties together. You know what I mean?
It's now they're like, people are gonna think we're talking about Donkey Kong, but little do they know.
Exactly, because it is a new type of barrel roll because it's a racing game. You know, now. So I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway, yeah, totally. So,
but that ain't all that's going on in Rumor City, Perry.
What else do we got?
We got rumors for days. This next one, hot off the oven, or I should say hot off the stove, or hot out of the oven. But definitely not hot off the oven. But yes, Pokemon is making the rounds. The rumors are swirling, and this is pretty much the gist of all of the rumors. I'm gonna go down the bullet points here. Yellow remakes for Switch, so it's going to be 2 versions. Pikachu.
Crazy. I haven't heard this yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Where the heck have you been?
At work.
Under a rock? I was at work too. So they're going to be 2 versions, Pikachu and Eevee. And it's going to be red and blue play a part in the story, and you and your rival are new trainers. So it's revisiting that original area, but with different characters and presumably different story attached to it. Following Pokemon Return. So I think when they say that, they mean like how in the yellow version Pikachu followed behind you. I think that's what that's alluding to. HMs will still be replaced with Pokeride from Alola region, which you didn't play the new Pokemon games, right?
Nope.
Pretty much like
I know what that is.
Yeah, the HMs, you used to have to train a Pokemon to fly, but now it's like they just give you options. There will be an online hub for players. There's going to be Pokemon Go integration to go along with this game, and catching Pokemon works like Pokemon Go. So I'd imagine you'd battle or whatever, and then I guess if you're...
I hope that's not right.
What's up?
That sounds awful.
Well, I'm thinking not, obviously in Pokemon Go, you just threw the Pokeball at them. I'd imagine it'd be like maybe you, like, can swipe up in handheld mode, sort of like to throw the Pokeball after you weaken them in a more traditional battle sense. That's how I took it, but I don't know.
Okay.
It rewards in-game and in-Go for linking the two together. There will be a new accessory used with both Pokemon Go and the new games. It will be releasing this year with an announcement coming soon. I've heard before June. I saw that somewhere out there. I don't know if that's, again, this is all hearsay. And these games will be titled Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and the other one, obviously, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And I also
don't believe it.
heard... now, there is a screenshot was leaked, I believe, weeks ago, but maybe months ago, and it showed riding a Lapras, and it looked, I guess, like the same engine, maybe sort of boosted up a little bit from Sun and Moon. So, it's not, according to all of this, it's not going to be that, as people say, the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon. It's not going to be like all 3D models, this, that, and the other thing. Everything's, mind-blowingly crazy. It seems more like, if this is true, it might be more of a stopgap. Like, all right, put this out, get people used to Pokemon on the Switch to play it there, and then next year, will be the big heavy hitter of like, this is a true next generation, fully built from the ground up for Switch, so it looks gorgeous. That's sort of what I'd take. I mean, so you don't think this is real?
No. Listen, it could be real, but I mean, it just sounds like... It sounds to me like something that someone would make up. So...
Well, there were also logos going around as well. I don't... Yeah. Again, I mean, obviously, all of this is with a grain of salt. I don't know, to me, this seemed... I believe this one. Where, like, where Star Fox, I'm more 50-50. I think this one's right. I think
Okay, I mean,
because it
sounds
makes
cool,
sense, right? Because
but I'm not jazzed about Go integration. I couldn't care less about Pokemon Go.
well,
I don't want to have to do that at all.
yeah, I wonder how important it is to the game. Like, is it one of those? Hey, you link
It's
it.
called Let's Go.
Yeah, let's go. Peek. Yeah, I mean,
Also, like that doesn't make like if it's gonna be a remake of Yellow, then it should have Yellow or Red and Blue. Like I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, to
In
me,
the title, obviously.
yeah, yeah. I'm just curious. Yeah, how important that Go's gonna be. You know, is it really like, hey, you need to go out to find Pokemon? Or is that more just like sort of like complementary? Like you could play the base game like a normal Pokemon game, but you know what? If you integrate Go with it, you can get special Pokemon. You know, the event Pokemon. You know how they always have like, oh, go to GameStop or whatever, and you can download a Pokemon. It'll probably be like, hey, this Pokemon's released in Pokemon Go today only. Go find him. You know. And
Right.
you get people out doing that, and instead of just downloading, you know, going to a hotspot to download it. But I don't know. To me,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it could be really cool. Like I'm not saying it's not cool. I just don't believe it yet. So interesting. It's very interesting. It's fun. It's a fun rumor. That's for sure. There are always fun rumors in Rumor City.
Yep, it's the funnest city. It's some say it's more fun than Vegas, but yeah, no. This to me seems plausible. But if it is true, we will find out within the next 2 weeks or so, because apparently it's coming before June. So the announcement, that is. But yeah, we shall see. It is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the game that propels the Switch into selling more than the Wii.
It will
and
certainly.
Then you'll owe me $100.
Yeah, I hope I have to pay that $100, but fact of the matter is, I won't.
Oh yes, you will.
But
The Switch is the fastest selling system of all time.
we'll see if she can
And-
keep it up. I hope.
Oh, she'll keep it up.
But yeah, that's the end of Rumor City. Let's get out of this shady town.
Shady.
It's shady here in Rumor City. Alrighty,
Alright.
we're gonna take a quick little breather, and then when we come out, we got a few things to do, some house cleaning, and then we'll hit the old Dusty. The old Dusty Trail, that is.
Okay, well, thank you for listening, everyone, to episode 87 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. We're up almost to 90.
And then the big 100.
Then the triple digits.
It's so
baby.
funny. I remember always listening to like RFN and stuff and being so psyched for the the big anniversary shows.
Oh
And
yeah,
it should
Heck
be
yeah.
interesting that this will be our I guess 50. And what silver, right? The 75 is silver. Is that what we determined?
Diamond.
The diamond number. Yeah, 100. I feel like that'll be the first real one that'll be worth sort of making a little bit of a deal about.
Yeah, we're gonna do something.
But
for it.
we've got time before that. Of course,
Yeah.
we can always appreciate you guys sending in your questions, emails, all that.
Yes, we need to mention we were gonna do listener mail, but we just ran too long, so we're gonna push it to next week.
Yes.
So, yes, you know who you are that sent the mail. I want to leave it in a mystery.
And that's also a
listeners.
good nudge for anyone else who might have a question. If we're going to be answering your emails next week, fire
Yeah.
any questions you have, rumor related, leak related, anything you guys want to talk about, send it to us either at talknintendopodcast@nintendoworldreport.com via email, or you could check us out on Twitter and just send us a nice little message there at talknintendopod. That's
Talk Nintendo POD.
And I think it's also worth mentioning that we are back in the swing of things with our Talk Nintendo challenges, but now we're over on NWR TV on YouTube. We have redubbed it NWR Presents Talk Nintendo Challenge because we're going to be bringing in other staff members to join in on the challenge. It won't always just be Perry and I, but generally, I think the plan is we'll probably be on most of them and then have other people enter the fray, if you will. And
right.
Our latest episode, I think, is an absolute doozy, is Slime-san. And that is actually live right now over on YouTube, so you can go check that out.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we had some hand-picked levels from the developers. They made us play through. So, yes, go check that out. It's gonna be fantastic. It is fantastic. I wonder who wins. It's a mystery, isn't it, Case?
It's a mystery history. Well, not quite, but...
No, it's not.
But yes, once again, thank you everyone for joining us this week. Once again, we really appreciate all the support, and until next time, we'll see you then.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
Time for some quick bites. That was a lion. I don't think lions bite quickly.
I bet you they probably do. They probably have some, like, I imagine they're probably, when they need to, you know, they could probably bite pretty quick. Like, if you're trying to get away,
yeah,
that arm's toast.
Well, you're not getting away. I mean, that's...
Unless you tickle them.
You don't have to worry about that. See, they'll take you, and then they can take their sweet time. Anyway, my quick bite this week, and it will probably be in the next few weeks.
I was going to say, we were trying to get into positive, and we're talking about getting mauled and eaten by a lion. Oh, you're not getting away.
Mauled and eaten by a lion inside of a crack house. I think I have an episode title. Goofathol.
Baseball. Oh, well, pardon me.
Make a pancake. Make a pancake. Make a pancake.
Baseball.
Make a pancake. Make a pancake. Make a pancake.
Pardon me.